this is your pump. This right here is your return line. I gotta bring my I brought the marker too.
Oh, do you need a Sharpie?
It's in the car.
Okay.
But this is your return side. So you got 2 holes in the bottom of your pool, which is your main drain. So 2 holes in the bottom, which is the main drain. You got a hole on the side of your wall, which is called the skimmer. Them 2 suck water. Suck water into here, which is one line is for the main drain and one line for the skimmer. I'll mark them with a marker. Sucks through here and it returns into the pool. So when it sucks through here, it goes through here, it goes through here, and it goes to the filter. Once it goes through the filter, it goes out the filter, through the filter, out the filter to the heater, through the heater to the chlorine generator. So.
Yep.
Okay, wait, what's the chlorine generator? Where is it?
Right.
Oh, that little thing's the chlorine generator?
Yes, ma'am.
This big thing's the heater?
Yes, ma'am.
And this thing is the
Filter.
filter? And that's the pump.
Yes, ma'am.
Pump, filter, chlorine, heat. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, keep going. All
So-
right,
So
I
this
got
seems
it.
like a little pump for that big old pool.
You
It
would
doesn't.
imagine this is half of the horsepower that actually do a lot.
Yeah.
Usually you use like a 3 horsepower if it's like Laminars, jets,
Yeah.
all type of stuff on there. Like I said, these are like the Cadillac
Yeah.
of pools. Hayward is like the best brand that you can buy when it comes to pools. Not because I'm wearing it, not because I'm certified tape, but it is. But it is one of the best.
Okay, and that's what this is.
Yes, ma'am.
All right.
So when you open it, since your water comes downhill, what happens is when I open this, guess what's gonna happen?
We're gonna shoot up in the air.
It's gonna continue coming out with water. You want to turn that inlet that way. When I take these pins out, you want to turn the inlet that way. Off. Wherever this off is and wherever this close is what pipe is closed.
Gotcha.
This is off, so off is this way, this pipe is closed. Dump it out real quick so you don't gotta clean it no time soon. You just take it, tap it sometime a water hose. It goes in one way. This water will not continue to come out once I take the pins out. It's just doing that because I can't close it with some pins in there on this side.
Okay.
So it only can go in one way. Stick it in, take the top, and you push it back on there. Now it's
Okay,
closed.
so I had to hit my breaker. I had to turn this to closed.
Yep.
Before I open this, I'm going to turn that to closed.
Yes, ma'am.
I'm going to turn...
That to close. This is not off.
Okay, how do I know that I'm turning... Why am I turning that to off and not that one to off?
I'm turning both of them off the same way I'm doing this one. I just can't turn it all the way this way because these pins in here right now.
Oh, gotcha. Okay, so this is closed right here.
Just that line because I ain't turned it all. It's supposed to be this off need to be facing this way like this.
Oh,
closed
that
is
like that
facing
is
that
okay.
way.
So I'm
Yeah.
gonna close both of those, and then I can open that and clean it out.
Yes, ma'am.
And then I'm just gonna close it.
Yes, ma'am.
Does it matter the order of which they are closed and opened?
No, ma'am.
It's not gonna cause any sort of
No,
pressure
ma'am.
in here or do anything like that.
No, ma'am. Just make sure you got to open one of these lines to start it, or it's not gonna pull water.
Yeah.
So once you put everything back together, you got to make sure one of these lines is open and one of these lines is open. They both don't have to be open, but you got to make sure one of them open.
And it doesn't matter which
Don't
one
matter
it
which
is?
one. Don't matter.
It doesn't work better one way or the other or
Nope.
anything like that.
Nope.
Okay.
It doesn't. Only thing different is that the main drain sucks from the bottom, and this sucks from the top. I always tell people if you got a lot of debris, you want the skimmer to be open because that's what happens. Everything that's on the top of your pool rotates and goes into that box on the side. But if you don't have nothing on top of your pool, you don't have to worry about having it open. Like right now, you got a cover on. You won't have to worry about having that skimmer open. You can have it running from the main drain if you want to, or you can have it running from the skimmer. It don't matter. It's really the filtration, what you're trying to clean. Like I tell people, if you're trying to clean the bottom of a pool, you want to sweep everything to the bottom of the main drains. I mean, you'll brush everything to the bottom, and then you'll turn on the main drain. So when you brush it in, the main drain just suck all the dirt into the system. So that's the only two difference between. One cleans the top and one cleans the bottom. I'm gonna mark it for you.
Okay.
to let you know which one is which. But the
So which one's top and which one's
one's
bottom?
yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
And then, what are those two coming back into the pool?
Okay, you have.
Oh, I'm sorry. Maybe I shouldn't get you off. Maybe I should let you do it. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
I got you.
Well, actually, I do have a question.
Yes, ma'am.
Just because we're talking about, like what's going into the pool and that type of thing.
Yes, ma'am.
What if somebody loses jewelry in the pool? Is that gonna catch it?
Nope. None of them because the jewelry too heavy, so it'll sink right to the bottom. Unless it's plastic.
And it'll probably get caught on the outside of the main drain on the bottom of the pool. It'll probably be down there.
Yeah, it won't
go through.
Stings
Even like an earring. If you
it'll
lost it,
it'll go straight to the bottom. It's too heavy.
so you just find it in the pool.
Yep.
Okay. I wanted to know
Only
that.
thing you worry about is like plastic stuff. Plastic, like it's like a plastic pearl or something. But like I said, it won't go in here. It won't go through the pipes. It's a basket inside that skimmer. That's mesh. That's like real fine hose. So it won't nothing go through there. So if it was anything to go in there, it would end up in our basket. If you push it in there. Like I said, anything that's heavy or rock, anything dirt. And this. Now, this is going to be kind of hard. You're supposed to let the water drain out of it. How can you let the water drain out of it?
Because
Push it back in.
we're downhill, so you can't.
There you go. So, this is your filter. Easy to take off. I taught them how to take it off the other day and I cleaned it out. See this red handle right here? Just take it. I'm gonna get.
So we're always gonna have lots of water when we're doing this.
This no, yeah.
As long as we shut everything off, though. I mean, you're gonna get some water that flows out.
Yeah, that's just the water because it's in its tank. If I was to open this, it'll bring all this water right back up.
Yeah.
So you'll take it out, spray it down, clean it, put it back in. Go in one way.
I showed you this before?
No, we didn't get quite this far. We were just talking about that's how you actually release water from the pool too. I'll show you that in a second, Laura.
Yep.
Okay. All right.
So you'll take it.
Oh, I thought it was just what I was. I didn't realize it was going to be that big. Okay.
And you'll spray it down.
You spray it down like you get your hose and you
Yep.
just spray it all.
Yep.
Sit here and spray it all down and
Yep.
then.
I would assume until we get our landscaping done, the worst thing we're gonna have in our pool is dirt.
Yeah.
Yeah, more.
Well, okay. Then when do you?
How often? I guess is the question.
I'll show you all that.
Okay. I was wondering when you get a new one because you just keep spraying it down, spraying it down,
I
spraying
tell
it
people
down.
to get 2 of them. I recommend people. You don't have to. I recommend people to get 2 of them. Now, set it back down. Make sure it's even on each side. Lock right back down.
Cool.
Now, when it's time to clean it, I should have turned it down.
Okay, wait. I wanted to know how you undid it. So when you undo it, do I have to squeeze the red latchy
Yeah.
thing?
You just squeeze
So you
that,
squeeze the red
disengage it.
latch, and you just spin on the bottom.
And really, the placement of the top really doesn't matter.
No, because
It's
I don't
a-
want you to step over here while it's muddy.
Yeah.
I want to show her up over here.
Yeah.
So, you'll never have to prime this pool because the water is down here.
Okay.
So, like I said, when you get ready to start it, we'll at least open one. We'll open 2 of them. I'll open back up 2 of them. Open right back up both of them. And you just switch. You want to hear the water come out. See that red nozzle? You turn it.
Yep, that's it. And that's how we can let water out of the pool.
You mean if it rains and we need to let? Why?
Well, if we get too much water in the pool for above, like we were above the skimmer the other day, we could have come over here, and that's where I can just buy a hose, and we can just run it off over there, or we can just have it shoot that way.
So if I wanted to let water out of the pool, right now everything's open and running.
Yep.
Right
Right.
now everything is open and running. So if I wanted to let water out of the pool, is it as simple as me walking over here and flipping this thing?
Yes.
That's it.
Everything else was as we were cleaning and as we were going through and stuff like that.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so this is all. Okay.
So
So it's easy to let water out of the pool.
Yep.
you have 1.5 pipe. You see where that green is at? See that green at?
Yep.
That's where you start. That's where that's where it's good at. That's how you know your filter's good.
Okay.
When they get here, see what I read at?
Yep.
You need to take it out and clean it.
Oh, and
So
it's
that
the
green-
it's the little black line
Yep.
that's moving. So the
Yes.
little black line's on green, telling us all good.
Right.
And when the little black line moves to the red, then we need to clean our filter.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Okay. And this is our 3. So that was our skimmer. That was our. What do you call that little thing with the? What do you call that? What is that?
Yes, ma'am. What's that?
What is? Sorry, Ken.
You're fine.
This thing.
That's this is the pump. It's a filter.
That's a filter and the pump. So you do the skimmer, the filter and the pump, and then the big filter.
If
Those
needed.
are my 3.
Defenses of cleaning, filtering.
Okay.
You got the big stuff in there. You got the minimal stuff in here. You got the particles in here.
Okay. And then that's how we let out water
Yes, ma'am.
if we need to. All right.
So I got a question. So now that we changed that, now we have air in here. Will that rid itself of the air?
It will
or-
rid itself of the air. So you
Eventually-
just keep on doing this until it rid itself of the air.
Gotcha. But that's normal when you clean that basket. You're going to
It's
see some of that in there for a little bit.
Yes, sir. You're going to see.
All right.
You'll see in a little while that bubble won't be there.
Okay.
So you did the pump. You did this. Now we're gonna move to the saw generator.
All right.
It's off right now. Yesterday it was on. What happened? What?
So we weren't producing any salt yesterday, or we?
You was. I don't know what happened. This thing was out hanging. So
I have no idea.
Trying to wait till they get a reading. TCL925. So it's saying it's at 200 parts per million, which I know is wrong because I came out here yesterday. It need to be between 24 and 3600 parts per million to generate salt. Generate chlorine. This pool had to be 65 plus to generate chlorine. So I mean, if your pool is below 65,
Temperature?
yep,
Okay.
it's not going to generate chlorine.
Okay.
9 times out of 10 on a hot day, regular summer day, it's always above 60 or 65 degrees.
Right.
You can't see the heater. You want to step
Go
over
off
here.
around
I'll show
there.
you how to use this on the heater.
Best bet's probably go right through there. Heater's easy. It's like working a thermostat in your house. I'll stay behind for a second. Do you make?
All right.
Because we want to see the panel right here. I mean, I don't know. It's real simple. It's up or down,
So
pretty much.
you got 2 different icons. You got the icon right here for pool. You got the icon right here for spa. Really don't matter which one you put it on. What matters is what temperature each one is on. Me and him yesterday, we set the pool at 75. Right now, I'll show you. Stop blinking. So when you initially open this, right? This shows you what temperature your pool is at. The pool is 81 degrees right now.
Oh, okay. I
Yep.
couldn't see the I could only see the 8. I was like,
So-
what's the 8 mean? Okay, gotcha.
So this is
Can you scoot over on here? No, scoot over on here.
I'm good.
this is your your temperature of the pool right now.
Uh-huh.
So like I was saying, the only difference between these two is this one is set at 75 degrees. This both of them are set at 75 degrees. So it's like a regular house thermostat.
Okay.
When you turn on your house thermostat and set it to 77, it's gonna go to 77 and cut off. I'm showing you 75. When it goes to 75, it's gonna shut right back off. If it goes lower than 75, it's gonna cut right back on until it's 75.
Yep.
Same thing for this one. The only thing different is if you had a spot. That's the only thing different. If you had a spot over there and you want your spot to be 104, you would put it on spa mode. And then your spot be at 104. And if you put it on pool mode, you'll put it on pool mode, and whatever you set it at the pool, that would be the pool. But since you don't got no spa, it don't matter which one you go to. You gotta know which temperature that it's set at. Like this one set at 75, both of them set at 75. So it don't matter which one you put it on now because both of them set at 75.
Okay.
Now, I'm gonna show you like I showed him 81 right now. So your heater should kick on right after 81. So I'm gonna kick it on.
Sounds like a beast too when it fires up.
Oh yeah. You will hear a couple clicks. I gotta go through a circulation to turn on.
I have a question while we're waiting for that.
Yes, sir.
In the wintertime, should you cover this equipment or you just let it go?
This is all maintenance free. You can just let it go. The only thing you have to worry about, I tell people, is your critters.
Yeah.
If you cover it, you're gonna get more critters.
Okay.
Because what happens is, when winter comes, they like to crawl up in heaters.
Yep.
I get bird nests, squirrels. What's the difference that you see on that board right now?
I have no idea. I see an 81, which is the temperature.
This green light popped on fire.
Oh, you know what? I can't see that it's on. Now I see that it's on. Yeah.
So, when the light pop on, that means it's working. You want to see this green over here when the heater's on. Now, if you ever had an issue, this right here will come on. The most common issue you will see is LO, which means a low flow.
Mm-hmm.
So, you go back to the skimmer. You want to check the skimmer. You want to check the pump. And you want to check the filter again. Trying to get up out of here. So, again, the most
skimmer, pump, filter.
Yes, the most common you will have when you see LO is one of these things are clogged.
Okay.
The flow is restricted. So I tell people it's a little trick. It's only for technicians. I don't want to tell you. It's how I winged my first 2 years to technician. So, in here. So, oh my God. That's for automation system. So, this is what I winged myself along with when I first started doing pools. Was this little thing right here. So I used to come out to people's houses and be like, oh, it's cold on my heater and I don't know what it is. I don't know what's wrong with my heater. This thing right here shows you every code and what it means.
Okay.
LO, limiter, error.
Okay.
Limited, you got SF, temperature sensor. You got HS, acceptable return water temperature. You got all these codes. So if you ever had a code, can't get in touch with nobody, say, hey, well, my code, when my heater is throwing this and I know that it means such, 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 such. So you won't have to go and say, hey, well, my heater is throwing code. And 9 times out of 10, what they do is they're going to charge you a service fee to come tell you what's wrong with your heater. When you can tell them what's wrong with your heater already.
Yeah.
Okay, my heater's LO. I know it's a limit, so I need somebody to come out here and check to see what's going on, because I know it got something to do with this. So now, guess what? If they got parts they need to bring, they can't say, well, hey, well, I charge you $125 a day, and I got to go back out, go to the shop, and then charge you again to come out.
Mm-hmm.
So now you have, hey, well, I know for sure that my heater is saying AC, and that means blower vacuum switch error. So that means it's something to do with the blower vacuum switch. So that means you need to blow a vacuum switch, or you need to blow a blower. So that just gives you help on people trying to get down or trying to spin you or tell you what it's not and what it is. I get it all the time. People are like, hey, there's the LO on there.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, did you check the filter or check the skimmer? Did you see what the code means? Well, I don't know. You know I got to charge you $125 to come look at your food to tell you what it is. Not to fix it, just to tell you what it is.
Yep.
And that's how food companies run. They charge service fees. They're going to charge you, I don't care what it is, they're going to charge you an amount of money to come look at whatever it is. But that's how they is.
Yep.
I mean, I've been in the pool. I hate it. I hate it because my service crew I don't charge people. My company don't charge people. I do my own service. So, I mean, if you ever call, they're going to charge you. People going to charge you arm and leg to come chase you. Pool is the most expensive and the most come up in the world.
Mm-hmm.
People don't understand that. It's the most secretive thing. Telephones don't got nothing on pools. Cars don't got nothing on pools. Pools is almost a number one selling thing right now in the world.
Yeah.
Yep.
It is. Pools and cars and houses from the start. So, I mean, that's for that. So, we're going to go over into the salt generator. With this stormy cold already.
So our code thing is in there. So anytime you want to know, you know right where it's at. Right?
Pull right out. Yep.
Okay.
So, right now, I'm getting cold. I got check salt, inspect sales. I know what's wrong with it. This thing is not generating chlorine because I just turned it back on and it's reading the chlorine, it's reading the salt that's going through it right now. I know for sure it's more than that because when I came out here yesterday, it was home. And it was at 2,800 parts per million. Which this will tell you your parts per million. Like I told you again, your pool will not create chlorine if it's not between 24 and 36 parts per million of salt. Now, for all your friends out there that want a saltwater pool, it's not ocean, it's not sea salt, it's none of that. Your pool will never taste like salt. You will never deal with salt or the taste of salt. The only thing you can do wrong is add too much salt. Now, you should never have to add salt unless you are taking out water or dissipating water. So, when I tell people my story every time. I had a guy have one of these and it was automatic pool. This is a computer. Things do not, it goes wrong and it do, malfunction. So I had a guy that was saying the same thing. He's like, oh, well, I'm gonna dump 2 bags of salt in. Oh, okay, well, just make sure you do it slowly and make sure that, it's not rising. I've been dumping salt in there for a whole week. There's nowhere in the world. Well, my thing is really low. I don't have enough salt. But guess what? This was messed up.
Yeah.
So guess what we had to do? We had to drain all this water out. When you have too much salt and too much calcium in your pool, you have to drain it. Now your pool will probably taste like salt if you had that much salt in it.
Yeah.
So always I tell people, start with 1 bag. If you ever come with it. Now, the only time I usually tell people we ever put in salt is at the beginning of the year. Because when we come out to close your pool, we drain your pool below the skimmer and below the return. So if I'm draining your pool, I'm taking out salt. So usually at the beginning of the year, you add 1 or 2 bags of salt, and it should go right back regular. There's no other way. Salt do not leave your pool. Salt do not evaporate. I don't care how much water there is, it's going to be the same amount of salt unless you're sucking it out of it. So, again, you always want to have your salt between 50 or 60. This is the percentage of salt that you want to put out. Never leave your salt on high. Because again, you have to drain your pool. Now you're generating too much salt. I was telling your husband the other day, if you have a party, and there's 1 million people in here, this salt generator only kills so much bacteria when people in here. It's not shock, it's not liquid chlorine. That stuff is strong. It actually kills all the bacteria that's in there at a time. This thing is minimal of that. It kills what's needed. It keeps your pool sanitary. It don't make it turn green, none of that. That's what's so good about it. But the thing is, you have superchlorinate. When you have a pool party, you have a bunch of people over, you want to turn it to superchlorinate overnight. Make sure you do not leave it on superchlorinate. Now you're just boosting the chlorine in there. You're boosting the salt in there.
And when I put it on superchlorinate, I need to not have my shoulder cover on?
No, you can have your soda. Come on.
for that.
Okay, so for this I can. It's just if I
When you
literally
lick-
add the
Yes,
chemicals
ma'am.
to the pool is when I can.
Yes, ma'am.
And that's more like after the party's done,
After the party's done,
then you super
you want to
chlorinate.
super chlorinate.
Okay.
Gotcha.
That's to clean out any bacteria, anything that's been in there. That's the best way to do it. You'll wake up the next day and your pool will be clouded because there's been so many people in there, so many germs that it's not cleaning it fast enough for your pool to get clean. So super chlorinate overnight, let it run, get up in the morning, turn it back down to auto. So when you turn it back down to auto, it goes back to the desire that you put it in percentage. Don't get me wrong, you can put it at 100 output. You just can't leave it at 100 output. You can have it okay, 100 output for a day, okay, that's fine. You don't want to leave it like this all the time.
But
So-
usually around 50, 60, somewhere in there.
50, 60,
Yep.
Just to keep it generating and keep a nice amount of it. This thing right here is what makes your chlorine. So what happens is, it's like I said, it goes through here, sucks through here, goes through the filter, goes through the heater. Once it comes through the heater, it's platelets in here. And once the salt runs through the platelet, it comes out on this side as chlorine. So all it do is keep on recycling the salt every time it goes in. Another thing, these things do need to be cleaned. Either once a year or as needed.
This or this? What are we talking about? That?
The
Chlorine.
chlorinator.
Okay,
Yeah,
chlorine
okay.
needs
Clean
to
it with
be-
muriatic acid. It's because calcium do build up on the platelets.
Okay.
Calcium will build up on almost anything. But
Yep.
once a year, keep it sharp, keep it clean.
By us or by you?
You can have it done by us. It's a $75 charge, but like I tell people, it's not worth $75.
Okay.
Just
All
do
we
it
do
yourself.
is put a plug in here, pour muriatic acid down in there with some water, and dump it out after we see it eat. Now, is it something that you would probably want to do? No. Is it something that he would probably want to do? Yes. It would probably itch your skin and burn you if you touch the muriatic acid. It's hazardous. It's real hazardous to touch muriatic acid. So,
So it's my job to do
Mr.
it.
Roberts, call me.
So here's my question at the end. I know that you guys will, for this first year, close our pool.
Yes.
And that's probably when you would do that, I would assume.
Yes.
When you close your pool.
Open.
So when you open is when we'll do it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Open is when we do it.
Okay.
Now, chemicals. Your pool is almost naturally balanced.
Mm-hmm.
We give you chemicals because when anything is out of whack, we want you to already have your pH and your alkalinity. Pool is like your human body. If it don't look like nothing wrong, if you don't see nothing wrong, don't touch it. If the pool is clear, there's nothing wrong with it. Pool get cloudy, foggy, green. If your return is pushing out fog, people will think that it's sand, but it's not. If calcium builds up in your pool, it'll look like when the jets on the side of your pool, the return, it'll look like it's blowing out dust.
Gotcha.
High calcium. What it is sticking inside your pipes, and it's thick because calcium, just like algae, does not float in water. It sticks against walls and the floor. And if you don't scrub it, it won't come out. If we don't treat it, it won't come out. Don't get me wrong. There's things you don't have to worry about, but it's things I'm going to tell you. Because the knowledge that I want you to know. This is a sufficient pool. I always say when you got a saltwater pool, you really have to do nothing. Stays clean. I mean, honestly, I never saw nobody unless they just had, I just had somebody with a big storm. That big storm that's passed,
Yep.
chlorine generator was, salt generator, their whole pool was green. So that tell you how much that helped when you got one of them. A pool can turn green in a day. It don't take no 3 days, no 4 days, it can turn dead shot green. Like I was telling your husband about landscaping and everything. Do not use fertilizer. Don't use it around no pool. Please don't. If your people get fertilizer, you want to make sure that your phosphates are good. Phosphate is the leading thing inside of any miracle grow, any plant grower, anything. If a leaf or a strand of grass get in that pool with any kind of phosphate in there, your pool is going to start growing algae, and it's going to grow fast, especially when it's heat and it's wet. That's how algae grow. The more heat it is, the more faster it grows. So, just remember, if you get anything sprayed on here, make sure it's either a powder substance where it is not going to move, or pellets or something. if you get a spray, it will mess up your pool every time. I got farmland people that got pools out there. They gotta treat it almost every time they treat their
Gotcha.
property because they use fertilizer and stuff to grow their crops. And what happens is you can tell when fertilizer come along that it's just like hard water. All your pipes, everything will be yellow. It'll look like a shiny gold from getting sprayed. That's the first thing I look at when I see a person pool. I look at their pipes like, hey, we got fertilizer, or our pool use hard, or our grass use hard water. And when you have a sprinkler system that's blowing on here or making this wet, it's going to make everything turn yellow because it's hard water. It's copper.
Yep. Gotcha.
So, again, things you got to worry about, things you can keep.
The only thing we do is have weed killer. They come through and spray the lawn. There's no.
They do a weed and feed.
Do they do a weed and
It's a
feed?
weed killer and a fertilizer.
So ask them, do they spray it or is it pellets?
No, it's a spray because they go through their little car and drive all around.
You don't want to do that. You probably want to use organic, or you probably want to use pellets. Now you can use it up here. You just don't want to use it nowhere
Just
around your
around the
pool.
pool.
Yeah, I think I just tell them to only do the front yard, only this
I mean,
side
if
of
they-
the
if-
driveway and straight.
Yeah, I mean, if they just do weed killer back there, it would be fine. But I don't want all the.
Anything
just,
with moss, I know if you tell them you got a pool, they probably tell you something that they got something to work around. It's just that the moss space. And like I said, you got pine needles. I ain't really too much worried about the trees, but the pine needles in your grass.
Mhm.
Okay, I have two questions.
Yes, ma'am.
One of them kind of went to earlier.
Yes,
We
ma'am.
started this conversation with if we're having trouble with our flow. We're looking at our jets and we're like, we're having trouble with our flow, then we're going to do our 3 lines of defense.
Yes, ma'am.
So I'm going to tell you, yesterday I was in the pool, but I was over on the bench where there's the 2 jets and